Hi everyone, my name is Rose and I'm going to cover Chapter 10 Writing Routine and Positive Messages in Business Communication today. Learning objectives are as follow. Outline an effective strategy for writing routine businesses and requests. Describe 3 types of routine requests. Outline an effective strategy for writing routine replies and positive messages, and then describing 6 common types of routine replies and positive messages. Strategy for routine request. This is a routine part of a business. It's important in most cases. Your audience will comply as long as you're not making reasonable or asking people to do work they would expect you to do yourself. If you apply clear strategy and tailor your approach to each situation, you'll generate effective requests quickly. Structure of routine request. Like any other business messages, routine requests have 3 parts. They are the opening, the body, and close. Using the direct approach, open with your main idea, which is clear statement of your request, and then the use body to give details and justify your request, and then close by requesting a specific action. Stating the request up front. You can begin with a routine request by placing your initial request first, and then up front is where it stands out and gets the most attention. Of course, getting right to the point should not be interpreted as license to be abrupt or tactless. Paying attention to tone instead of demanding actions, soften your request with words such as please and I would appreciate. Assume that your audience will comply. You can generally make the assumption that your audience member will comply with clearly understand and the reason for your request. You can be specific. You can state precisely what you want. For example, if you request the latest market from your research department, be sure to say whether you want it in 1-page summary or 100 pages on raw data. And explaining and justifying request. You can follow the opening remarks, and you can ask important question first and then limit questions to one topic. Requesting specific actions in a courteous close. Close your message with your 3 important elements. A specific request that includes any specific deadlines and information about how you can be reached. So you can express the appreciation or goodwill, and then you can conclude your message by sincerely expressing your goodwill and appreciation. And when you ask readers to perform a specific action, make sure that the response by a specific date or time and appropriate, and don't thank the readers. It's important to be serious, and because the reader's reply warrants a word of thanks and after you receive the reply. So you have to make sure that they do first before you do. Summary of discussion. And we did all this, and then we're going to go over the common examples of routine request, which will describe the 3 common types of routine request and asking for information and actions. When you ask for information and actions, actually, you could say what you want to know or what you want to be the readers to do, and why you're making the request, and then why it may be in your reader's interest to help you. For simple requests, you can direct approach can get the job done with a minimum or fast In more complex situation, you may need to provide more extensive reasons and justification for the request. So make sure that you adapt your request to your audience and situations. When asking for recommendations, you can state your request clearly, offer support for your request, and express your appreciation. When making claims and request adjustment, you have to state the problem clearly and then explain the situation clearly and then request specific actions. If the remedy is obvious, tell your readers exactly what you expect from the company. And if you're uncertain about the precise nature of the trouble, you could ask the company to make assessment and then advise you on how the situation should be fixed. So here's the summary that we did, and we will go over the strategy for routine and positive messages that will give us outline on effective strategy for writing routines, and then the replies and positive messages. Starting with your main idea, the main idea. By opening your routine and positive messages with the main idea or good news, you're preparing the audience for the details that follow, like make your opening clear and concise by asking yourself, what's the single most important message that I have for the audience? And then providing necessary details and explanations. In the body of your message, explain your point completely so that your audience won't be confused and doubtful about your meaning. In addition, in maintaining the supportive tone established in the opening, if your routine message is mixed and must convey mildly disappointing information, put the negative information into a favorable context as possible. If the negative information will shock or offend your reader, use the indirect approach. Ending with a courteous close. Keep in short and simple, neutral, or positive. Simply say thank you and clarify with a follow-up action. Here's a summary that we did. These actions, we will discuss the following starting, and then your next one will be common examples of routine and positive messages. We'll describe 6 common types of routines, replies, and positive messages, then answering requests for actions or information. If your answer to a request yes or is a straightforward information, use the direct plan. Open the main idea, use the body for explanation and details, and close courteously. Your prompt, gracious, and thorough response will positively influence how people think about you and your company, its product, your department, and you. So when you're answering requests and potential sales is involved, you have 3 main goals. Your goal is first one is to respond to the inquiry and answer all questions, and to leave your reader with a good impressions in you and your firm. And then lastly, make sure that you encourage the future sale. Granting claims and requests for adjustment. Even the best run companies make mistakes, Each of these events represent a turning point in your relationship with your customer. In other words, every mistake is an opportunity to improve a relationship. Your specific response to the complaint depends on both your company's policies for involving such issues, and so therefore you have to, some third party is a fault. In general, take the following steps. Acknowledge the complaint, sympathize with the customer, take or sign personal responsibility, take steps to repair relationship, You have to follow up with your response and then maintain your professional demeanor. Providing recommendations and references. If you decide to write a letter of recommendation or respond to a request for information about job candidate, your goal is to convince readers that the person being recommended has the characteristic necessary for the job, projecting assignment or other objective to the person is seeking. A successful recommendation letter contains a number of relevant details such as the candidate's full name and the position of the other objective the candidate is seeking, and then the nature of your relationship with the candidate and the facts and evidence relevant to the candidate and the opportunity, the comparison of the candidate's potential with that of peers if available, and then your overall evaluation of the candidates suitable for the opportunity. Sharing routine information. Many messages involve sharing routine information such as project updates and or status notifications. You can give the necessary details in the body and end your message with your courteous close. Most routines communication are neutral, so readers won't react to the emotionally. However, some routines informative message may require additional care. For instance, policy statement procedures change may be good news for the company, perhaps by saving money, in instance where the reader may not initially view the information positively, use the body of the message to highlight the potential benefits from the reader's perspective. Announcing good news. When announcing good news, make sure to develop and maintain good relationship. Smart companies spread the words about positive development such as opening and facility and introducing new products or sponsoring community. Fostering goodwill. While all business messages should promote positive relationship with audiences, some messages are written especially to build goodwill. You can enhance your relationship with customers, colleagues, and others by sending friendly, even unexpected notes with no direct business purposes. Summary of the discussion we just did, and then we're going to go over writing routine and positive messages, where this concludes our discussions on chapter 10, writing routine positive messages in business communications. And thank you guys for tuning in.